We believe that equity begins with opportunity and ownership. This statement is the foundation of the Legacy District. The Legacy District is about more than a 25 residential unit and 13,000 square foot commercial building. It's a systematic and structural approach to community participation and wealth creation. Our plan includes the reduction of the barriers of ownership by providing programming for home ownership, access to capital, a kickstarting culinary entrepreneurship center, a women of color entrepreneurship center, funding partners, structured mentor and mentee relationships. This project will be catalytic. We see the potential up and down 47th Street. We see the development cycles. We also understand the phasing of this community. So the Legacy District will create roughly 344 total jobs. 204 will be temporary and 140 will be permanent. There will also be a substantial tax revenue that's generated from the food and beverage, transfer taxes, and the property taxes. This team was intentionally designed for mentor, mentee opportunities and participation and wealth development opportunities for the community and for all its participants. And the RFP also specifically asks for market rate development. And we are market rate developers. KMW has been developing market rate products for over 16 years. LG Development has been doing it for 16 plus years. We have over 30 years of market rate experience, and we coupled that with Paula Robinson, who leads Bronzeville Partners LLC.
We're creating options for housing, and we know that the community recognizes that we need to be a diverse income community as well. That's a part of what always made Bronzeville sustainable. We're really now recognizing a lot of what is there in the community and making sure that we're not just formalizing the space, but we're really identifying by design that this is a destination.
We already have term sheets in hand from CIBC Bank, who's a local but also national lender with a big presence in Chicago. The term sheets that we have from CIBC are actually in three parts. One is for the senior construction loan, in the amount of about $6.8 million. They're also agreeing to finance 75% of the allocated TIF from the city, as well as invest equity into the project. So the equity needed to do this project is about $3.5 million, and CIBC has an equity arm dedicated to do that. The remainder of the equity, approximately $1.7 million, is coming from LG and KMW personal funds.
One of the most important goals was also to just create not just a building, but a building for a community, a destination, something which opens up and actually serves the community and not just the residents.
I don't know if you can really call a building dynamic, but I feel like this is a dynamic building. So our process has been integrated in the designing and the collaboration, but that integrated process for us is through every step of the project. So the idea is that we would be working continually with community through every step, and that those steps would eventually lead to a successful project that is in and of the neighborhood.
To us, legacy means designing for the future. In designing the building, we listened to the needs of the community. The community wanted larger 3-bedroom units for larger families, family-friendly units. So we maximized the density on the site, and we've provided 25 units, with the majority of those units being 3 bedrooms that range from 1,600 to 1,800 square feet.
So imagine a folding ribbon, which comes out of the scale of the neighborhood, folds and ascends up to create a diverse spatial configuration in the site, to create an expressive form, but also a variety of interactive spaces, the plaza, a rooftop garden, and finally peaks in the art beacon, which is a overhang over the plaza, which really defines the urban space and includes the art, which is so important for the building. It actually influences the form quite well.
Bronzeville has never seen a building like Legacy District. People want to be here. They get everything they want in a home and everything they want in a neighborhood.
This opportunity is not only for us to bring a catalytic product and project to the neighborhood, but it's also to add to the culture, add to the language, but it's Bronzeville.
The Legacy District really is speaking to so many generations that came before, speaking to even the birth of Bronzeville and how Bronzeville came to be such a cultural hub. This legacy project will not only be speaking back to the idea of our history, but it gives us that foundation as to how we want to move forward as a community.
Being a part of a project this huge means so much to me in so many different ways. A, it's a project that's in my community. B, it's something that I've dreamed of. And C, it's something that will push me to another limit. It's putting me in spaces and places that would have maybe taken me years to get to.
To me, where it really clicks with landscape architecture is that it's in our DNA. It's like this visceral thing to be in and around nature. So much of our spaces in the city are deprived of that. So if we can really integrate this into the front plaza, onto the stairs, this sort of vertical green element, onto a farm on the rooftop, it becomes a space that the community can really own and take over and want to be at.
The programming of the building was intentional from its unit size, tenant selection, and wraparound services. The YWCA, in partnership with DePaul University, will house its Women of Color Entrepreneurship Center.
Bronzeville is a historic community on the south side of Chicago. Although it's one of the most affluent African-American communities in Chicago, it has currently almost $1 billion retail gap. So this initiative that we're partnering with to launch our Women of Color Accelerator is solely designed to try to increase the opportunities for women of color entrepreneurs, to help them grow their businesses, help them launch successful ventures that can ultimately employ people from the community and close that retail gap.
In 2019, Black entrepreneurs received about 3% of $24 billion of VC funding, of which women of color received the least amount of all groups, which is 0.006.
Entrepreneurship is such an important part of community economic development. They go hand in hand.
With the chef culinary artist incubation program, we can literally take people and have them come in at a very low cost, start a business, and if successful, take that business down the street, stay in the neighborhood as they increase their brand and really do a fine job. And we can do this a countless amount of times over the coming years.
Bronzeville being such a staple community of the south side of Chicago, there's so much beauty and culture in that neighborhood. You know, I think an opportunity like this will allow me to be able to showcase such a special brand in front of people that are well deserving of it, and also put us in a better position to hopefully franchise.
As an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a Southsider, this affects my business tremendously. One of the issues I've been tackling over the years is that of community blight, and understanding how the blight affects community psychology. What we're looking for and excited about is development.
We're a continuation of that legacy and having those options on where and how you want to live. And so as we're focused on wealth building strategy, having this kind of affordable home ownership choice is extremely important. I want to dedicate our team's effort to an African-American entrepreneur, Jerry Oliver. This is a female entrepreneur who held down 47th Street for decades. And every day she opened and closed her shop by herself. When you ask her how she was doing, you could stand on her answer, hanging tough.